Thanks for staying with us. We're discussing the inheritance today, and we'd really like to hear from our viewers. Call us on the numbers on your screen and send us messages on X, and also YouTube. We'll be happy to hear your thoughts. Daniel's going to jump in here.
Yes, I wanted to jump in on what Amaka said, like when she mentioned training the children, and you also buttressed on the fact that most times now we are training our children to be independent thinkers. Think outside of me. We're raising our children to behave as though, what if I'm not there? And I also believe that if you have inheritance, the physical one that you want to leave for your children, is something that you would have tried to inculcate into them as early as possible. We saw some of our fathers take their children to the office, showed them the books, made them understand, but still did not guarantee that the children will come back and take over it. Because now we have still taught them about independent thinking. And this independent thinking is vast. Some children don't even want to live here. They are just waiting for their parents to pass. The few times that they have here and they are conforming and they seem like, oh, they are good boys and good girls, it's just because their parents are still alive. The moment they pass, it's like, oh, this is a dream for me to do my own thing. Not even talking of inheritance. When I was with one of the banks, one of my boss actually studied medicine because of his mother. And he took that certificate after practicing for 7 years and gave his mother and said, you know what, I've lived your life to an extent. Now I want to go and pursue mine. Now that's not inheritance. So what if it was a certain inheritance that was left for him? He can as well say, you know what, you worked for this all your life. I do not like this. I don't even want to be a part of it. It doesn't mean that I will not continue your legacy. But I might not be able to continue this this inheritance that you are wanting me to be on this line.
I like the way Nima had put it, that you are putting your own vision. You're limiting
your own vision on your children.
I'll come to you, Amaka. Let me take this call from Adewale. Adewale, thanks for calling. You're live.
Huh?
Good morning, sir. Go ahead, please. You're live.
Yeah, this first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, ma. I really love the program, actually.
Thank you.
So, concerning the inheritance you guys are discussing, in fact, I have an experience with one of my pastors who have 3 children. 2 of them are out of the country, and the last one is still Nigerian, and the father built new property for him. And the father has not died though. This guy was saying, why that is doing all these things? I don't need all this property. Why are they building? I said, stop saying all these things. I don't need it. Because very soon I plan to relocate. I won't stay in Nigeria. So I first feel like if this property, I was even telling to one of my friends, if this knew that this guy could not be able to maintain this things, he would have got all this money to establish his business or his church. So I would just feel like if these people can just see if they can name the property maybe for children or for different things, so that people can benefit after the person.
Yeah.
That is my contribution.
Thank you very much. I think I've shared with you on this table before. It's a very popular school. I'll tell you the name during the break. The owner died. 3 sons are still fighting over that school. And this is a school that I think over 400 or 500 children go to. And because the woman or whoever, the person did not do a proper training of the children to take over, because these children also lived abroad. They don't live in the country. So they are going about pursuing their dreams. She has built a huge school that is serving almost 500 children, families. Their life is there, and then the entire school is on a limbo.
It's just profits making for the
so
children.
The kids are coming, and they want to take it over, either just go home and go and sell it off. I'm like, no, you cannot send these guys home. We need to make sure that this school is sustained. How do we create it? That's what Corona did. They created the trust council, so nobody can lay claim that it's my school. A trust is holding on to it. That's what you're saying earlier. In this our inheritance, the thinking that we need to start having in mind is like, it's no more, I have this house, I'm handing it over to Amaka, Amaka let me share. No, he said, I'm going to give it to a third party who's going to run it and run it properly, and then the proceeds can then be shared with Amaka.
Everybody.
My grandfather, I have never seen him in my life. He died in 1976. I was born in 1980. I am still receiving money quarterly from the Fuja estate. Every quarter, my brother is the oldest one. He gets the money and he shares it. And what I still get as one of the 4 children, or one, my grandfather had his own. I think he had 4 wives. Then he paid inheritance for even his brother's children. So I said from 4 wives, who had maybe 7 or 8 children. Now his brother's children. So all of them, they all have access. Now me, I'm under my mother, who has like 7 siblings or so. Under her, she has 4 children. I still receive. I mean, I can't tell you the figure. I still something substantial.
You showed me that day.
Substantial.
Exactly.
So that's what I'm saying. You don't just say I bought this estate, I bought this, and I'm handing over to Amaka to. No. You are limiting the potential of that. That's the point I wanted to make.
So he left a vision. He left a vision that he structured such that what he wanted to do was create a vision where that Aromodomo that will outlive him, that his descendants will never suffer.
Yeah.
He created a structure such that whether the descendants are interested in how the machinery works, they will not suffer through.
Yes.
But people now live, for instance, your fashion style, for instance, you want to leave it for, this is our fashion style, you want to leave it for daughters that we born now. They don't even understand how it's dressed.
So Dima, you find out that that at the age they say bring up a child the way a child should go, and child will not depart from it, right? And you grew up in a Muslim home, and you're Muslim because of the upbringing and what you saw, what the values that's been put in you. You grew up a Christian, and you made that decision, not because it's a decision you wanted to make for yourself, really, but because this is what you know, right?
Yes.
So I think what we lack in Africa is we lack schools that I don't know if I should call them finishing schools, but we lack schools for the rich and even the refining and even the middle class that are interested in it, where kids are taught like how to take care of investments, the importance of what your father and your mother that they are doing, because sometimes your kids see you just going to work and everything. They don't know the importance of that thing that you're creating, because you don't know how to translate to explain. And then most times kids are rebellious, like, Mommy, I'm not going to do what you want me to do, or what you're doing. I want to do my own thing. I'm thinking for myself. But if you send your child right from when they are small to a school, just like the royal families and everything around the world, the very rich family, you send your kids to school that teaches them wealth, generational wealth, how to build it, how to maintain, how to curb the taxes, how to reduce taxes, how to and they understand the importance of that thing.
What I'm hearing you say is teach the value, which I love. Yeah. I think we mentioned it yesterday.
Prepare them for the inheritance. That's what she's saying.
Prepare them for the inheritance.
So you have the vision, you are born royal. You want to go and train your child so that the child does not believe in royal standards.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? When the child grows up and you expect the child to just fall into the role, the child will rebel against that role. But if from childhood, they do it in this our Nigeria, some royal families do it. Yeah. They pick that child. There's a special preparation for the entire life of that child.
Let me take this call from Janet. Thanks for calling. You're live.
Disjointed.
Good morning, Janet. Hello. Okay, I think I lost that call.
Okay, I think in referencing to the Bible verse you wanted to mention, it was Proverbs 13:22. A good father leaves an inheritance for his children. At this point, really, I want to just totally agree with values, because some parents are not even raising their children to value their family name. And that's why they begin to drag it up and down. Maybe a bit of the Yoruba, the inculcation of, want to be you must retrain yourself. And the name that you have is more even valuable to us in this Western part than... Because the next thing when you're going to somewhere is that, who is your father? And with your own character, they can almost tell that, is it that they trained you or you refuse to train yourself because we know that your father is a certain kind of person or your mother is a certain kind of person with such principles. So there are a lot of times that we miss it because we don't even allow our children relish and appreciate the name we're first of all living, which is the first legacy. Whose son are you? Whose father are you?
Very interesting.
Who are you going to become? Whoever you're going to become already is precedented on who you have been from your home.
Let me take this call because there's something I don't want to forget. Tokumba, thanks for calling. You're live.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. From the UK.
I'm Tokumba. I'm calling from the UK.
Welcome to the show.
From the UK?
Right. So concerning the topic, what I would like to say is that inheritance is not limited to properties alone. It doesn't have to do with the physical building. It's anything, that can benefit the children and even your generation to come. So the main issue here is that you need to build the mind of those who will inherit this property. That's what's important.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tokumbo. Also, there's something I wanted to bring up because we said it in passing, but it was also reinforced yesterday when we were having a conversation. Because we've focused so much on inheritance being money or being
physical,
material, such that even in our own subconscious, we're constantly thinking of how much did he live? What estate did he live? How many cars? How many this? But to think about it in redirecting our thinking, you said it just now that you live close. My mother too left. The clothes my mother left. My mother, I wore it the first 1 year. I was wearing it back to back. But now I finished wearing it.
Yeah, the one that is not stylish now. She outstyled you. It's you that don't.
There's one that I think I wore it while she was alive. She gave it to me. This woman made this clothes. 10 from India. It was handmade. Those beaded, those beaded ones. 10 colors. This woman chattered it.
Now you know India. Style more.
I changed it to myself. I wore it. She bought it in the 80s. I wore it. Now I finished wearing it. I don't
worn out.
So now I can't hand it over to my daughter. I don't even know what it is. But the point I'm making is that let us not focus too much on the material, because what's more important is the name. Because we decided, Olun lawyer, for example, we might not have a lot of money, but there's a name he left that the government says this man deserves to be honored. But we don't care, because you're talking about the material and money.
Since you have dropped this Oluloyo twice now, let me answer you.
Answer me.
The first rector of every institution, imagine that we named all the institutions after the first rectors.
He was a former governor.
Impact. You see.
Okay, I get
if they put the first VC of our school,
we cannot debate impact later. Let's leave impact.
So tell us about impact.
Let me pack it. So let's leave impact.
She has been wanting to answer it
since they carry my belly. Yeah, so you see this style thing. You, number one, you don't style like Mama. No, Mama, we saw her lifetime. She's a style icon. But you will manage you, because you cannot even remember your own birthday. We used to remind you. So but leave those things, because they are valuable things. For instance, those fabrics that Morayo is talking about, I wish you saw them. They are standard fabrics that even Elizabeth's children, if they met it alive, they'll be able to style it anyhow, different styles. So those are mothers that had bottom box folded. They know. They did not buy fabrics that when you come back, the fabric goes shop. There are fabrics that a young girl, damask is raining again. Who they wear? We didn't wear damask for our wedding. But now we say everybody do agbada damask. Ashoke now, Ashoke jeans, Ashoke. I wish I can touch Auntie Bimbo's damask that she got from grandmother. That damask, if I make trousers from it, this what they call this baggy trousers, and for the stay fashion up and down, because these fabrics are the original fabrics are scarce. So there are ways and your children would genetically inherit style. Since you know we get I be like tomboy. Please, let me pause you. From
I'm the MC of this show. Irene, thanks for calling your live. Go ahead, please.
We'll style it too.
Irene.
I'm still waiting.
We are live now. Don't wait again. We are here. Go ahead, please.
Sorry.
Irene.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Listen to me directly. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Very clearly. Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Okay, good morning, Morayo and on the crew.
Good morning.
This program is really an eye-opener, and there is an issue too. I'm like part of it, because when my father died, my father built house in our village. You understand?
Okay.
Because everybody he has, we are all women and we are all married. Right now, the house is just there in the village, taken by the elder brother. You understand?
Yes.
So leaving an inheritance for children, I don't really understand, because sometimes it's not even the children that are in charge of it. It's people that don't even know how the person sweated for it, that are eating it up. Right now, we are all women, we are all married, we are in our different places. We don't even go to the village anymore. You understand?
Yeah.
So legacy is not the inheritance is not only by properties. It might be what your father leaves, the something he imbibed in you. You understand? Like my father now, anywhere I enter, his name opened doors for me.
Yeah.
You understand? When you hear you are from so family, is this so person your father? That alone makes me happy.
Yeah.
Because of the kind of person my father is.
Thank you very much, Irene. So that's what I want us to leave this show with. The fact that, because my mother-in-law too had that issue. She was from a royal family. They had large expanse of cocoa farm. Today, she's just like, doesn't know who is that, who's doing nothing. These are things that the family owns. So that's why you need a third party to run the business, because that's one of the issues we had in Africa. We keep doing as if because of inheritance, legacy is our father, is our own. We hoard it, and you're hoarding it, and nothing is happening. Society is not benefiting from it.
I will forever be against this colonial interruption we had, because our system of African inheritance is such that it will run. But wicked brother story that somebody now told us that the wicked uncle takes it over. So there's a reason why it was the men who took it over, such that if the name is Damilola Banire instead, there will be a Banire on that property. That Banire who takes it over was not supposed to, traditionally, because I know in my custom that if he was a mismanager of that asset, such that he disinherited the original investors' children, those investors, they just need to, in Edo, you go to the alimi, they go to the grave site and report to the ancestors. We believe in ancestors. And you will see his life. It's like they will do a coup d'etat from the above to remove him. Somebody else will come. That person is supposed to manage it such that it's like a continuous endowment. But we have now come, we have now read law, we have gone to the abroad, we have copied the abroad system, and there's a clash of culture. You will see people be saying, I don't know, because what we are using, do you know how old it is?
Let me tell you why it's been improved. I will tell you why it's outdated. Let me come to Dami.
What I think is happening in this place is that if you have a trust fund to manage, isn't it better? Yes, it is better. Yeah. But in the event that it is the children of the owner of the property that are fighting each other. So are you saying that the person left the property to create further chaos in a place where they cannot manage themselves? And then now manage property, because if you cannot manage yourselves, then how well do you manage properties?
So after everything we've said here, we need to understand something. There's somebody that has worked hard and left and built legacies or inheritance that they want to pass over to somebody, right? So the sole responsibility of how that inheritance is passed is on that individual
who is living
it. So if you decide, because in Africa it's so funny how nobody wants to write a will. Nobody wants to have that conversation because they just feel like, oh, so you want me to die? You want to take my property? But we need to be intentional about everything that we do. You do not take all your time, energy,
but people
and build wealth without actually taking over the responsibility of putting structures in place, legal structures that manage that property. You cannot create a trust without it being in a legal manner. So whatever you do, whatever inheritance you want to leave, you have the responsibility to discuss that thing called, how am I going to pass? My will, trust, how do I want to pass this inheritance?
I disagree with you, but wait, let me take this caller. I think I have a caller. Good morning, thanks for calling.
Good morning, Morayo.
Go ahead, you're live.
Today I want to write.
I'm a first caller.
Okay. First time caller.
My name is Adeodoye.
Pen and paper.
Okay.
Paper, just paper.
Are you listening to me?
Yes, we are here. Go ahead, sir. We are hearing you, Mr. Biodo.
I'm very, very happy for what you people have been doing every morning. So I'm a first caller.
Okay.
So you people are discussing about a sensitive issue.
I know that voice.
You people didn't look in a two-way.
Okay.
Every time. One, you should look it in facets of maybe extended family. Then nuclear family. If it is nuclear family, very time, there must not be problem. But when it is polygamous family, then the father should not, even both polygamous and a nuclear family, the parents, I mean the father, must not allow the children to know about what we call inheritance. He should allow them to grow up. He should did not disclose it with them, because some of children of nowadays, they didn't want to work. They believe on what their parents have done is enough for them to live. So if they hide it from them and look for management consultant in future, in the will that will manage those things for them and will be share it amicably for them. That one will be better.
Thank you.
And maybe this one hate this one when they are sharing this, and the father must make sure he have give the management, maybe the we as a consultant. This is how you share. This is how you share the proceeds you make in my inheritance for my children.
Right.
50-50. Nothing like say this last one, you should take this. This one is the second one, you should take this. If all these things are be done in the right way, I think inheritance.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abiodun.
It's very, very good.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
See, inheritance for me is like the raising kids. When you are raising your kids, you are instilling the discipline. My mom used to say, don't forget to pray that the discipline enter. When you are leaving a will, don't forget you're just stating your intentions as regards the properties you have left behind. It is not you. Abi your spirits go come back, come and execute it. It's someone else who will do it. At this point, you need grace. You know, my friend, we got briefed last year to review a 20-year-old estate. The kids are all alive. No, not all of them. A few are dead. And one of the executors, who was the best friend of if you see this detail of this will, is 20 years old will. I bow for the testator. Very visionary man. And he wanted that all his children would continue, just as your grandfather's estate, to enjoy. This estate they call you. That they will continue to enjoy this estate. Now, estate that can make over 20 million annually is causing problem through executors. The two executors are biological survivors of the man. And we are discussing how all the children are confused. We are moving to court now. I'm advising. Because I first of all cried when I finished with that will and told them this is not the intention of this man. He did not think that this property is so structured to feed his children will be what will be dividing them and will be at this meeting talking about a division. But you see something, he did not live to do it with his own hands. When he was alive, there was unity. Each of those children catered for. They are like Abiola's children. Each of them, he knew his children, each of them catered for. Now, he has died. It is the grace of God that will ensure that his intention is carried out. If you put a trust,
this is where I come in.
Banks are making money off of this kind of estates. They are keeping quiet over the money dropping from your trust fund, from your shares. Banks are making money. See, CBN have work, full day work to do.
This thing you have said is the reason why I disagree with a lot of things that you said. And I have a proposition. And the proposition is that I think it is too heavy, it is too important to allow something that has the potential to benefit a whole society to be based on somebody's discretion or decision or his wish on his dying bed. I think where we are as a society, as a country, because I always like to look at the bigger picture, the greater good. As a Nigeria where we are today, if I own a property and I know that this property can be beneficial, there should be a law that will compel me to ensure that this property, when I finally die, my administrators or whoever is going to execute execute the property will ensure that this property is beneficial to the greater two people. The proceeds can be shared with my children as beneficiaries of me, but I shouldn't be the one to say I want it to be used for supermarkets. I want to use for
If it's supermarket,
it's not. You see, it is too important for us to execute your thoughts because it is too limited. That's why somebody can say, Daddy wanted to do this, Mommy wanted to do this.
Daddy was professional, Daddy was tired,
what Daddy wanted.
He told you
what
that.
we are saying, what is this? How was the greater, what's the maximum use of this property for the Nigerian people? Because there are some countries that no matter what property you buy, after a certain amount of years, it hands over to the government. They will take it from you.
Even in Nigeria.
Sometimes some countries 50 years or 400 they will take it right back. So why are we putting so much burden on the owner? Who gave you the audacity to tell me, make use it for a supermarket? No, that place cannot have a supermarket because it's a residential area. We use it for something that's going to build houses for people, and then the proceeds can come to your children. So I am proposing. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying to think about the bigger picture. Everybody saying my own wish, my own wish, my own wish. I'm sorry,
everybody
you don't have
has
the
a
right.
wish.
I'm not going to execute your wish based on who you are because you're making your wish based on your own selfish
interest at that point.
At that point.
Yeah.
It's a proposition. But go ahead, Dami.
I think I also agree with Morayo because if we look at it, some of these our parents sometimes they don't also there is preferential treatment. You want this to go for this person and that to go for that person. Like Nima said, you are not going to be there when the fight starts. It's only your spirit that will be saying that I've caused trouble. And at that very point, siblings lose their lives just because of inheritance. If they don't go physical, they go spiritual. And we've seen this happen too many times. So yes, if we say the person who owns the property, I would even accept that if you feel that you know that after you pass, chaos will erupt, sell it off. Give them what is accrued to them in your lifetime. Let them go and do whatever with their proceed. They already know that, Daddy has settled all of us. That's the language, settlement. Yes. But instead of you waiting for inheritance, that will probably cause a bigger divide than even the way you try to mop up money to start that.
So the reason for this conversation is not to change things, but just to give people start thinking.
But you know that this insight, many years back, we did used to talk about having a will. But now we've seen that the moment you begin to have one or two things, please put a will, no matter your age. But it doesn't mean that we are praying.
If you must have
what do I have yet that needs a will? That's where we start from. All these ones, I will give them out in my lifetime. I've also planned that there are a lot of things that, because I have 2 boys, and as of now, I do not intend having more kids. As of now. But if at all, I'm already looking at them. What is this one good at? What can I live for this one? What can I do for this one? What do they want? Sometimes parents don't even ask their children what they want.
Children and how they want to. Children cannot know what they want.
No. I'm not saying children like as toddlers. Maybe as teenagers, as youths. Like, what do you want? What do you really want to invest your money in?
Wait. Let me have I think I have a Maka's holding. You want to say something?
Okay, yes, I'm just trying to say, like, what you're proposing is socialism, and that's, if we're working in a democratic setting, that will not fly, because you can't take away people's rights from someone that's, someone that's worked and told, and then the government now tells me what to do with my property. It's not going to work. So that can't fly. But it's just about everybody taking and owning responsibility for your actions, or you know, preempting what you think might happen or might not happen. That's just what you can do.
So if you must leave a will, create an hierarchy. If you have plenty kids in monogamous settings too, create an hierarchy. That's why you see royal family always say the first son, the second son. In the absence of this person comes in, taking care of any lacuna. And if the absence of all the sons, it goes to the daughters or the first sons of the daughters. Create an hierarchy, a situation. But then let the people have the vision to know that this role is generational. This estate is generational, so that they, as they are growing, they are buying into the vision. Because if they lose the vision at some point, the whole thing just crumbles.
Okay, I think that's all we can take. We can wrap up on that. But really,
now God Almighty should help us to
empires crumble.
In a nutshell,
empires crumble.
Inheritance and importance. Based on what Ogabelo has said, it's not leaving inheritance. But I think I like what Amaka said earlier. It's depending on how you define it. Inheritance can be material, and can also be your legacy. It can be things where it's a pride that, okay, this thing belongs to our family, and our family has been doing this for years. We see so many legacy companies across the world. You can't point to the owner of Coca-Cola, but today we are still seeing the proceeds. So the point is that we need to start building inheritance beyond our personal selves, but more of the name and something that can be more beneficial to more people. That's all we can take on today's show. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.